Mental accounting. Why the same dollar feels different in different pockets is the reason a $20 refund feels richer than a $20 paycheck, even though it's the exact same money. You don't have one wallet, you have dozens. Your mind quietly sorts every dollar into invisible boxes before you ever spend it. The refund goes in the box marked Found. The paycheck goes in the box marked Earned. And the box decides how the money feels, how easily it leaves your hand, how much you're willing to lose it. Same amount, same bank, different rules entirely. You've felt this 100 times without a name for it. The gift card that burns to be spent, the savings you'd never touch, the bonus that vanished in a weekend. None of that is weakness. It's a system running underneath you. Tonight, you'll see the small experiment that first exposed those boxes. It's more than 40 years old, and it still runs your decisions while you sleep. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Watch how it works, and the money in your own pocket starts to look different too. Picture the everyday version first. You get a tax refund. It feels like a gift, so you spend it freely. A nicer dinner, something you'd never buy on a plain Tuesday. Now picture the same amount arriving as overtime on your paycheck. Suddenly, it feels serious. You'd save it. You'd pay something down. You'd think twice, then think again. Nothing about the money changed. Not 1 cent. Only the box it landed in. The refund was your money the whole time. It was always yours. The government simply held it and gave it back. But your mind filed it under a label that made it easy to let go. Found money spends fast. Earned money spends slow. And most people never notice they're doing it. The label did the deciding before you even sat down to think. And notice, the label is invisible, but the pull is not. You feel it every time. You've probably already thought of one of your own boxes just now. Hold on to it. In 1981, 2 psychologists put this to the test. Their names were Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. They didn't need a laboratory. They only needed a simple story about the theater. Imagine you've decided to see a play. The ticket costs $20. You walk to the theater. You reach into your pocket at the door, and you realize you've lost a $20 bill somewhere on the way. It's gone. Now, would you still buy the ticket? Take a moment with it. Most people said yes, they'd buy it. The lost bill and the play felt like they lived in 2 different worlds. One box was poorer now, the loose cash box. The other box was untouched, the seeing, this play box. So the show still felt worth $20. The loss belonged somewhere else entirely. That single label, found instead of earned, can move hundreds of dollars a year, quietly. Without a decision, you'd recognize as won. And the odd thing is, you'd defend the choice if asked. It felt like freedom. It was really just a label. Then they changed one small detail. Same play, same $20, same walk to the theater. But this time, you'd already bought the ticket in advance. It was in your pocket. You arrive at the door, you reach in, and the ticket is gone, lost somewhere on the way. Now, would you pay $20 for another one? Sit with that. For most people, it felt absurd, like paying $40 to see one play. So most said no. They'd turn around and go home. But look closely at what actually happened. In both versions, your pocket is exactly $20 lighter. The bill or the ticket, the loss is identical. The show still costs the same. Your night out is the same night out. Nothing real is different. Only the label on the money that disappeared. And that label alone flipped the decision. Notice how naturally your mind agreed. It didn't calculate. It just sorted the loss into a drawer and kept walking. One version of the story keeps the play safe. The other version puts it at risk. Same walk, same pocket, same 20 gone. The numbers were striking. When people had lost a loose bill, about 88% still bought the ticket. When they'd lost the ticket itself, only about 46% were willing to buy again. Read that once more. Same money gone in both cases. Nearly double the willingness to spend, just because of which box the loss touched. The lost bill came out of a vague box called cash, easy to absorb. The lost ticket came out of a specific box called seeing this play. And buying a second ticket felt like that one box had blown its budget. $40 for one show. Unacceptable. So people walked away from something they genuinely wanted, not because they couldn't afford it, because their mind was keeping separate ledgers all along. And one of those ledgers said no. And here's the strange part. Both groups wanted the exact same thing, to see the play. Only the accounting changed their answer. People who'd happily lose a bill and carry on suddenly couldn't lose a ticket and carry on. The pocket didn't care. The mind did. Here's what makes this more than a clever trick. An economist named Richard Thaler took that theater result seriously. He built a whole idea around it. He called it mental accounting. And decades later, in 2017, that work helped earn him a Nobel Prize. His point was uncomfortable. We like to believe we treat money rationally. A dollar is a dollar, we say. Interchangeable, cold. But your brain has never once done that. It runs dozens of little accounts. Each one has its own emotional exchange rate. The vacation account, the grocery account, the this was a gift account. Money moves between them, and its value bends every time it crosses. So the real question isn't whether you do this. You do. Everyone does. The question is sharper than that. Which of your invisible boxes is quietly costing you the most, and you've never even looked? That gap, 88 against 46, isn't noise. It's the shape of the boxes, caught on paper for the first time. Almost half of the people who truly wanted that night walked home without it. Not because of money, because of a box. Watch how the boxes shape ordinary nights. You'll drive across town to save $10 on a small purchase. It feels like a win, but on a large purchase, you won't cross the room to save the very same 10. It feels like nothing. Same $10. Different box, different weight. You'll guard your savings like they're sacred, then treat a bonus like it isn't quite real. You'll pay full price without blinking on vacation, because that money lives in a box marked "This doesn't count." You'll carry debt in one box while cash sits calmly in another. Every one of these feels reasonable in the moment. Each choice has its own private logic. That's exactly the trap. The boxes never announce themselves. They don't argue. They just quietly hand you an answer, and you mistake it for your own. And most of these accounts you never opened on purpose. They opened themselves years ago and just kept running. You inherited some of these accounts from your parents, some from a hard year you'd rather forget. They're old software, still shaping new choices. There's a deeper reason this happens, and it isn't stupidity, it's protection. Long ago, your mind learned that keeping separate piles made the world feel controllable. The rent pile must never be touched. The fun pile is allowed to disappear. Sorting money this way meant you didn't have to weigh every dollar against every other dollar all day, forever. That would be exhausting, impossible even. So the brain built shortcuts, little walls between the piles. And for a long time, those walls helped. They kept people from spending the rent on a good mood. But a shortcut built for one world can quietly misfire in another. The same instinct that protects your rent also tricks you into blowing a windfall you should have kept. The wall doesn't know the difference. It just keeps the piles apart, even when keeping them apart is the mistake. Look back over your own week. How many of your no's and yeses were really the boxes talking? More than you'd guess. And the more tired you are, the louder the boxes get. Late at night, on a long day, they do almost all the deciding for you. Now see the same dilemma through the mind of someone who prospers slowly. They feel the same pull toward the boxes. They're human too. The refund still glows a little brighter for them, but they've trained one habit that changes everything. When money moves, they ask a quiet question. Where is this dollar really? Not which label is on it, not how it arrived or how it feels, just the plain truth that a dollar found and a dollar earned by exactly the same bread. They think in one account, not 30. They think in years, not in moods. A windfall isn't a party to them. It's just more of the same substance, arriving early. The boxes still whisper. They always will. These people simply stopped letting the boxes vote on their behalf. That's the whole difference. Not more money, fewer illusions. So the walls aren't your enemy. They're just old, built for a world of cash envelopes, running inside a world of tap to pay. The fix was never to feel guilty about the walls. It's to see them clearly. A wall you can see is a wall you can walk around. This is the cost nobody adds up. Each box, on its own, seems harmless. A little more spent here, because it felt free. A little less saved there, because it didn't feel real. One decision at a time. None of it looks like damage. But your life isn't lived inside one box. It's lived across all of them at once. The refund you blew and the raise you saved came from the same pocket. They funded the same life. They faced the same future. The wall between them was never in your bank. It was only ever in your head. And walls in your head still cost real money. Add up a decade of small, mislabeled choices, and the number stops being small. The boxes are an illusion your mind finds comforting. Your bank balance has never once believed in them. It only ever counted the total. And here's the quiet reward. Fewer illusions means fewer regrets. The money stops surprising them because they stopped letting it wear costumes. They don't spend less because they're cold about money. They spend clearly because they refuse to be fooled by how it arrived. So the boxes aren't really about money. They're about identity. Every time you decide a dollar deserves to be protected or allowed to vanish, you're deciding something quietly. What kind of person you are with money. And that decision isn't made once in some grand moment. It's made 100 times a week. In tiny choices no one witnesses. The refund at the door. The bonus that felt like a gift. The $10 that mattered here, but not there. The upgrade you took because you were tired. None of them feel important alone. That's precisely why they shape you. Character isn't built in the big decisions you rehearse. It's built in the unwatched ones you don't. You are not the sum of your income. You never were. You are the sum of those small, unguarded choices, the ones you make while barely paying attention. Nobody sends you the bill for that gap. There's no statement for it, which is exactly why it grows for years unnoticed. A decade of small, mislabeled dollars doesn't feel like a loss. It feels like 100 reasonable nights. That's what makes it so easy to repeat. Here's the one habit worth keeping, and it costs nothing. The next time money arrives or leaves, pause. Ask a single question. If this exact dollar had come from somewhere else, would I still treat it this way? That's it. You're not building a budget. You're not tracking spreadsheets. You're catching the box in the act. When the refund tempts you to spend, ask it. When the bonus feels free, ask it. When $10 suddenly feels like nothing, ask it. Most of the time, the honest answer collapses the label on the spot. The story falls away, and for one clear second, $1 is finally just $1. No box, no glow, no discount on your own judgment. That second is small. It passes fast, but that second is exactly where control lives. Most people never even reach for it. That's a heavier idea than it sounds. It means you're not waiting for a raise to become disciplined. You already have every dollar you need to practice. And that should feel like relief, not pressure. The lever is already in your hand. It always was. You just weren't watching where it pointed. A refund and a paycheck were never different kinds of money. They were only different stories you told about the same $20. Learn to hear the story as it's being told. Name the box out loud, and it loosens its grip. Then the pockets stop deciding for you. Tomorrow, when money moves, you'll notice the box before it closes. You'll feel the glow, and you'll know it for what it is. And for the first time, the choice underneath will be entirely yours. Try it once tonight, on the smallest amount you can find. You'll be surprised how loudly the box argues back. That's the whole practice. One question, held for 1 second, before the box gets to answer for you.